Okay, we're just gonna hop right in and play some Astro's Playroom. Just because. I feel like doing something chill. I am again streaming direct from the PlayStation, so it will be a bit muffled. I'm sorry, I don't know why this microphone's muffled, it just is. And my proper one is too hard to move, so you'll have to put up with a bit of the... Yeah, adaptive triggers. These are actually like surprisingly convincing. They're also really good in Resident Evil Village. Can't quite get the dot on the I in the right place. This is also paired with the haptics, so you can kind of feel where they are in the controller. It's quite amusing. Hello. Imagine wanting me to blow the microphone when I'm streaming. I don't imagine that goes too well. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is a free game that comes with your PlayStation 5. And it's set inside the PlayStation 5 itself. Oh, it's slightly off-center, this controller. That's straight on. That's slightly tilted left. So Astrobot's also sort of become PlayStation's mascot recently. His previous game was a VR game, and that was actually really good. It's funny because I also think this game has one of the more appealing aesthetics, ironically. Yes, this was included with your PlayStation. Also, hello. It was included with your PlayStation and is set inside the PlayStation itself, which is quite amusing. So what we got here? An SSD themed level. Memory themed level, which I assume is CPU cooling, and the CPU, no, the GPU. Yeah, I mean, you've probably seen it back when the PS5 was just released, because it was all over the place for a while. We have some Monster Hunters, which has quite ironically become most of a Nintendo franchise these days. I won't collect all the money, but we'll collect a little bit, because you can use it to unlock bits and pieces later on. Profit, did you ever see anyone playing the VR version of this? Ah, it's Aloy from Horizon. And that's fair. It was a PSVR 1 game actually. It was like their sort of example thing at the time. I'm not actually sure what blew that there because I've not been making any sound. Speaking of VR 1, it's a Move controller. Also, apologies if I'm shouting. The game sound seems to be very loud, even though the setting's quite low. I mean, that's fair. The best use for the Move controllers was actually the PlayStation 3 version of Dead Space Ignition? Is that what it was called? I don't remember. It was a Dead Space on-rail shooter. It was quite good. Mini Golf VR. That actually sounds pretty good, to be fair. Oh. Yeah, just now for my next main streams, I'm considering Resident Evil 2, remake or original, and Gravity Rush, and Dead Space 2, I think. It's Mr. Bloodborne. He hit me. How dare he. Nice. To be fair, that's probably the one that will end up being. Although when I say OG, I might play the GameCube version. So the main advantage of the GameCube one is I think it uses the same cutscenes as the Dreamcast one, so you've got higher res CG in there. Minorly, but it's still pretty cool. And you got the advantage of having a nice, comfortable GameCube controller. Ah, it's a clicker. A little bit of Last of Us. I guess, yeah, throw stuff at these. Not this year, actually. My computer's starting to feel its age, unfortunately. I'm starting to lose a lot of frames in games. Is there any good indie stuff up there? Ah, Uncharted. No worries. Nice, I went out of my way to kill that robot. Yeah. That's Patapon. That's quite interesting. I didn't realise they had a cameo for that. That's a game I'd quite like to play, actually. I think it is on PlayStation 4, so maybe one day. Well, that certainly killed me. Tearaway was actually quite good, to be fair. I had that on Vita, I believe. Okay, so this time I move away from them. But not fast enough. Okay. Oh well, we're getting plenty of coins from all this. What's going on over there? Oh, it's Days Gone. He's on a motorbike running away from zombies. Ah, okay. I see. I tilt the controller to do it. I have unsurprisingly platinumed this. I mean, it's not a particularly long experience, and it's quite fun to 100% it. And I don't 100% that many things. It's just not really my vibe. The little PS4 there. I mean, the irony of this is that it's called ray trace, whatever, but actually there's no ray tracing in this game. So I don't know why, because they could probably have implemented it without too much performance overhead. Although, I suppose it's taken till now for games like Spider-Man to start to perfect it, so... Oh, it's Dark Souls? Demon Souls? It's a Souls game, that's all I know. I can only assume it's Demon Souls because that was exclusive. Oh, it's the Order, 1866 or whatever it was called. You can tell I've not played the Order. The PSVR little unit that you have to use. I must say, PSVR 2 just being a single USB-C is so much better. But that said, PSVR 1 was still a good experience. Especially when you're like me and you can't afford PC VR. I mean, that being said, I can totally afford PC VR, and to upgrade my PC, I just keep buying other things. Oh wait, why didn't I float? I mean, it probably would have worked. Wait, where am I now? Oh. Yeah, there we go. Here we go over here. Ratchet and Clank, maybe? Or Jack and Daxter. I'm not sure which one that's written on there. A PS Vita. I do like my PS Vita a lot. Although my original model, like this one, has stopped reading game carts, which is a shame. Because its screen really is nice. It's a shame that Sony didn't support it better. Ah, we have a bowl. Nice. Murder some other bots, shall we? Can you murder a robot? I don't know. Ah, there's more. I really do like the PlayStation 5 controller though. I know that some people don't, but I find it really comfy, so. I also quite enjoy all the different trigger effects and haptics and all that stuff. Okay. A little boss fight just to shake things up. But yeah, Robo Rescue was actually a really big highlight of, I see it's Tekken, the original PSVR. That and Moss proving that actually some of the best VR experiences you can have are platformers. I think I might also play through Shadow of the Colossus at some point. I don't know if that's a good stream one or not though, because it's quite a slow game. That was close. Well, I don't need those coins anyway. Ah yes, I have one of these. It's actually really good for, is it Farpoint that they made that was a VR FPS? And this gave you full, like, proper VR and controller movement. It was good. It made that game significantly better. Hello. You've not missed much. Just me talking about different PlayStation things. We found a PlayStation aim controller and a PS Vita and the PSVR connection box thing that the original one needed. Which I'm glad that the new one doesn't. It's just one USB-C cable for PSVR 2. Makes things a lot easier. Snowball! Another bow. Yeah, it's quite a weird one. My wife got a chance to speak to a Microsoft guy about it. He's not the guy who's made the decision, but he says they're not blanket banning third-party controllers as such, but they're wanting to implement some sort of control into the third-party controller stuff. And it's like, I don't know, man. Sounds a bit like you don't really know why it's happening. Ah, Journey. Now there's a game I should stream once. That would just be a single sitting, that one. It's a nice little game. Monster Escape. I don't know what game that's a riff on. Nah. This was the GPU forest level, which is ending with the PS4 screen. I mean, the original PS4 was okay, but I always feel like games at the moment are or consoles just now are launched with not enough software to back them up. I suppose the PS5 had the benefit of playing the entire PS4 library, but even then, like a couple more PS5 exclusive apps would be nice. Although it did have this built in, which is more than Nintendo builds in these days. This is where you build up your little collection of PlayStation accessories and consoles. Yeah, I guess capitalism's just infected it to the point where now we don't get any free stuff. Yeah, so that's the PSVR connection box thing. It took how many wires to do a PSVR one? 3, 4, 5, 6 cables or something to do one VR headset. And the PS Vita. As I was saying, I miss my PS Vita. I still have it, but it doesn't play game carts anymore. It was a lot. It was a lot of effort to use PSVR 1. Don't get me wrong, it's still a fun experience, still reasonably plug and play, but there's a reason why I just never disconnected the box. And now PSVR 2 is just USB-C in the front, that's it, that's all you need. Well, I mean, and your controllers, which you need to charge up, but it's really not a bad experience. So, we've done the GPU level. What level should we do next? We've got SSD, CPU, and memory. Die, sir, die. Okay, that's just like a shortcut back down to below, I think. Let's do the SSD place. I mean, to be fair, that's one thing that I am really quite enjoying in modern gaming, is SSD loading. Things are so fast now. Makes it feel weird when you go back to like older games and you have actually like 5 minutes of loading and stuff like that. Here's a little random side thing. So you know these sort of flight control sticks? There's a game in the museum at Frankfurt Airport that lets you control a plane landing. It was quite good actually, it was quite fun. And it makes me wonder how weird it is to actually do that as your job. It's definitely not what I would want to do, I don't think. Oh, speaking of Gravity Rush, there's the Gravity Rush cameo. It was a fun Vita game, and definitely should have been pushed more than it was. Although I'm still not entirely sure if I enjoyed its sequel. So Growfit, have you picked up anything in the Steam sales this year? Oh, that was way too low. Oh no, actually, maybe we're fine. Ah, Final Fantasy VII. So what's that game about then? Is it an interesting premise? Ah, there it got me. Sounds alright, to be fair. I like a little roguelite, whichever one it is, experience every now and then. Even though I'm usually terrible at them. My favourite roguelike game so far was Binding of Isaac. I found that game surprisingly addictive. Now it's Pyramid Heads. It's a pretty dark cameo to have in a little kids robot game. Yeah, it was a very weird game, to be fair. I'm still not sure if I enjoy card-based games. Like, sometimes I think I do, and then eventually get to a point in a game where I'm just like, I don't know if I want to put any more time into it. It's not to say they're not fun, just that for me they don't have any staying power. Ah, there's Ratchet. Oh, and Killzone. There's a series that would be quite interesting to see revived in some way. Oh, is that technically like a medieval reference or something? My actual PlayStation video game knowledge is not that good. Ah, a PS3 controller. No, there's a controller that was good when it was in a... Actually, is it a PS2 controller? It's a PS2 controller. It's wired. No, there's a controller that was actually pretty good. I would say that sometimes I yearn for the sort of games that we got in the PS2 era, but you all know that already. That's why I stream them all the time. I need to return to Project Zero 3 at some point, actually, before I forget entirely what I'm doing in it. This is where, like, the PS5 controller is actually, like, really fun to play with. I'm not exaggerating either. Like, it's definitely the best thing they did for this new console. And I kind of wish that they'd integrate it into PC somehow. Ah, it's Vibrabin. Nice. Yeah, I just actually, like, I find them pretty comfortable, to be fair. How do you find it if you've not got a PS5 but you use it for PC? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do custom bindings to the trackpads. Ah, the multi-tap. For your 4-player time splitters. Not sure what the jellyfish is in the background. That's probably another reference that I just don't get. Whoa. That was almost too close to that. Is that a reference to something? If it is, I'm not sure what. Here's a question. Can you use the motion in the PS5 controller on PC? That's quite cool. I'm not sure what use it has in PC games, but it's interesting to know that it works. Maybe I need to give it a shot then. I've not actually plugged any of these into my computer before. Yeah, I was going to say, exactly like on the Switch, and on the Vita actually, it's always been quite fun having that sort of little gyro-aiming. What? Let's escape from him. Okay, so we just need to jump over that one, that's fine. Devil May Cry. That's another series I'd quite like to play through actually, again. Or at least the first game, because it's basically Resident Evil 4, or what Resident Evil 4 could have been. Which I'm glad it wasn't, but it's still quite funny. It's a PS Move firework. No. I can't remember how you avoid their attacks. Wait, that enemy can climb. I've also almost finally finished my playthrough of Final Fantasy 16. And you know, it hits its peak before the end. I won't spoil what that peak is. All I'll say is it was very cool. I'm just hoping that the next Final Fantasy is, well, I mean, the next Final Fantasy outside of 7 Remake will be more experimental in some way. That's Wipeout. But I am looking forward to the 7 Remake Part 2. I think that'll be a lot of fun. But I did enjoy the first game an awful lot. It's like peak Square Enix quality for action games. Yeah, definitely. Ah, it's Ico. That's the reference on this disc. Yeah, because I mean, they've turned around part 2 so much faster than part 1. Surely part 3 will be even faster than that, you would think. As you can see, this is actually the most challenging game in the world. But it's still a lot of fun. Hehehe. I was going to finish my playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom at some point. I've still not actually made it to even the first boss in that game. Don't tell anyone that I've not been playing it. I don't know why, I just lost interest like so quickly with it. I think my problem is I played Breath of the Wild again before I played Tears of the Kingdom, and that was clearly a mistake. Because I do get game fatigue quite quickly. Hey there, little cat. No. I wasn't expecting the enemy to move quite as quickly as that. Oh, that was close. Yeah, I think if you got a PC, the only reason you'd ever buy a PS5 is just for those exclusive games that you want to play. But even then, a lot of them are coming to PC now. Like, I think Horizon Forbidden West is out and or coming out and all that stuff as well. Yep. In fact, now you can play some PlayStation exclusive games on Steam Deck, which I find quite funny. I actually kind of want a Steam Deck after them announcing the OLED one. I'm a sucker for an OLED screen. That seems like the way I meant to go. I know, I'm showing everyone how uncoordinated I am, although I think you've all seen that before. To be fair, I should have paused there before I did that. Yeah. For me, it's just I really like OLED stuff, even though it shouldn't merit another console buy. It's just like my PlayStation 2. Only mine's silver. This was by far the superior design of PlayStation 2. Back when we kept trying to make consoles smaller. I also wonder if Nintendo's going to announce a successor to Switch next year. Because Nvidia's released a new version of the CPU that's in the Switch. That would probably give us quite a lot of bonuses. Maybe even some DLSS. That'd be nice. I feel like that would be a big improvement for Switch. There's a robot penguin in here. Yeah. And just giving the Switch that extra brunt so they can port newer games to it would be quite nice. Or improve the quality of the porting that we're getting. And allow Nintendo to do higher resolution. Because I feel like a lot of Nintendo's first party games would benefit from at least a consistent 1080p or something. I'm not really fast enough. I suppose in a way, even if the Switch just manages better implementations of FSR, even that would be, you know, better than nothing. We have a little Star Road. What are they playing over here? God of War. The first God of War was a banger, to be fair. Ah yes, the OG fat PS2. The one that for me broke about 6 times in a row. And so the guy in game was just like, here's a discount, just buy the slim one. That's why I have a silver slim PS2. Yeah, I actually wonder if a Switch 2 would get a resolution bump, or if they would just keep the same OLED they used in the first Switch. Because actually it's a really nice screen. Yeah, they really were. Mine went before I even really owned the console. Whereas my slim PS2, fingers crossed, touch wood, its lasers are still functioning pretty much perfectly. Okay, let's do the meadow. Oh yeah, just a note as well, my PlayStation streams should improve in quality soon. I'm planning to start using my laptop to stream from here. It's just easier to use the PlayStation's own built-in streaming stuff, but then the microphone quality is like rough and all that stuff. I don't know why though. I've not heard other people having rough microphone stuff. I don't know if it's just I don't have a good microphone for use with it or something. Ah, Flower. That was a fun indie game. Use all the PlayStation 6 access stuff. Excuse me, kitty cat. Are you eating my VR controllers? Yeah. Thank you. I think that is about as much of a compliment I would give it as well. Because I don't know what causes it. I think it might just be because there's so much wireless stuff in here. Ah, Ape Escape. Or Appy Escape. Escape. Ah, mud. What we got over here? Oh no, that's medieval. Sir Dan, stop stabbing me. Oops. Even though we have quite a lot of 3D platformers now, I still miss sort of proper old style 3D platformers. Every now and then indie companies try and revive them, but I've not yet found one that really gets it. Oh, was that, Gex? Gex the Gecko? That seems right in my head. John's no secret, I've never played those games. Ah, Death Stranding's out here. What I did like was Croc. Croc was good. Like, it was never a perfect game or anything like that, and it had ridiculous difficulty stuff. But it was a lot of fun. No! I went too quickly. Oh, I think I got the next checkpoint though. So it's hard to explain this, but you can feel the rain in the controller. It also makes a little rain noise, but you can't hear it when you got headphones on. In the same way that I guess the Switch vibration sometimes generates noise as well. No, I forgot it was that kind of enemy. Here's a question for you, Growfit. If you were going to upgrade or buy a computer at the moment, what CPU would you aim for? Like, what's a good sort of, not completely in the middle, slightly towards the higher end CPU these days? I mean GPU. Yeah, CPU. For gaming. Ah, heavy rain. Ah, okay, I assume the giant bird is meant to be a riff on The Last Guardian. So AMD GPUs are quite good for it then. Oh yeah, sorry, I think I said GPU again. I keep doing that instead of CPU for some reason. It's because it's also in my head, but GPUs are so expensive at the moment. No, the CPU was what I wanted. That is the correct information you gave out. Yeah, I would quite like to get like a nice strong GPU. It's really for multi-purpose because I've got like editing and photos and all that I have to do as well. Even though I'm doing less of them than I used to. Because right now I've got an i7 and NVIDIA 1080, and that's done me for many a year, but it is now starting to lose its edge with the way that modern PC gaming is going. Unfortunately, I do care about the visuals. I keep considering NVIDIA GPUs just for their ray tracing stuff. Yeah, I think you really need to have like a 4090 or something if you want to do ray tracing and actually have it reasonably performant, which is obviously unattainable at the moment because they're like £1 billion. Let's go the hard course. We can do it. Let's go the hard course. We can do it. It'll be a first try. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to do, but I'm finally actually looking at doing it. Because I got a sneaking suspicion that my will to just have as much power as possible is going to overwrite my sensibility. Oh, that's true, I forgot they do their, like, super versions. I mean, I do have all my consoles, so it's not like I'm in a rush to go out and upgrade my PC, because it still does perfectly well for editing and all the general day-to-day stuff, but for, what did I play recently? City Skylines 2, which I know is also performing badly on new CPUs as well, but, I mean new GPUs and CPUs, but that was the first time I've really seen a game chug on my computer. I mean, the funny thing is, City Skylines 2, for me, I was getting a consistent 30 frames-ish, which is, you know, it's playable. It's more than doable at that speed. But I had to, like, absolutely tank the visual features. So it actually looked worse than the original, although the new systems are good. Wow, I'm playing badly here. Yeah. I mean, once that game's had a lot of updates, it'll probably be amazing, because, as I said, the systems were excellent. God damn it. Okay, there we go, finally. Ah, this PlayStation 1 screen. I always used to want one of them when I was little. The idea of playing your PlayStation on the move was quite tantalizing. Can I just say, I really like the visuals in this game. Something about the ripply clouds that they do. Even though they're completely opaque. So I guess in a way it's a little bit weird. That's Infamous, which I played the first game of, but it never really clicked with me. Well, that was close. I was about to say, oh, that went quite smoothly. And the game could tell, I think. What I actually spent a lot of time doing the other day was replaying Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and capturing the legendary birds. It was an interesting little day. I don't know what game this is a reference to. Siren, maybe? The Siren games were interesting. For a second, I was like, Shield? Oh yeah, Pokemon. How are they finding it? I actually really enjoyed Sword and Shield. But I know a lot of people didn't. It does get quite hard in its final fight, though. I completed that last Christmas, I think. That's fair. I quite enjoyed the whole Dynamax thing, but I'm a sucker for just taking something and making it bigger. It does seem a bit pointless in terms of Pokemon, like, super things, though. I actually watched a really interesting digital gaming episode on the sort of remakes of Diamond, if not Diamond, Pokemon Gold and Silver. Games which I actually own, surprisingly. I say surprisingly, everyone has played a Pokemon game at some point. I actually found myself having a bit of a Pokemon fan resurgence recently. How the hell? Yeah, like, Gold and Silver and Crystal were amazing, and then Sapphire and Ruby were also very good. In fact, I think Sapphire is my favourite, but I actually don't have a copy of it anymore, which is quite disappointing. The remakes of them were quite good as well. Oops. I think I mentioned it last week in when I was playing Mario, but something about platforming while talking is surprisingly difficult. A lot harder than action gaming. Oh yeah, it's the little PlayStation playable memory card thing that... Did we even get them in the UK? I don't think we did. Technically the first PlayStation Portable. There we go, that went pretty smoothly. To be fair, as cliche as it is, the PlayStation 1 opening sound is pretty good. Very iconic. So this is why I find it weird they didn't do ray tracing in this game, because, I mean, they could even just apply it to, like, the TVs, and then it would reflect you and everything else. I feel like that wouldn't have been that bad, performance-wise. Ridge Racer. You remember that one? E3 used to be so funny. I can't believe that it's just gone now. Hang on, what's this down here? Their little interface at the bottom is the PlayStation, like, BIOS colors, I think. See, I never actually owned a square PlayStation. I owned the PlayStation 1. But man, that had some iconic stuff. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, Silent Hill, Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve, Kadelka, all the good stuff. It's funny to me that they called it PlayStation Labo. I'm pretty sure Nintendo wasn't very happy with that. Yeah, it was just such an interesting era for games. There was so much creativeness. Yeah. I mean, PS2 continued it for the most part, I think. PS2, GameCube, and Xbox era was pretty good as well. But PS1 era, that was by far the sort of nostalgic peak for me, I think. It was when I got introduced to gaming. The first game I played was Driver. Or the first 3D game I played was Driver. I can't remember if I had my Game Boy before that or not. Beach level. There's new God of War. Which I will say, I enjoyed the first new God of War game. I've played maybe a quarter, if I'm being generous, maybe only an eighth of Ragnarok, and I got bored. The gameplay's just not that fun, unfortunately. Okay, that's weird. You can just balance on this, you can't actually do anything on it. Yeah, I did enjoy the first one, as I said, but I actually prefer the original God of War design. Yeah, no, I'm the same with Shadow of Mordor. I played, I mean, I did go back to it eventually, but initially I couldn't really bother getting past the first maybe 5 missions. Not for any particular reason, it's just I didn't have the patience for it. But I really went off open world for a long time. I'm still not entirely sure I'm back on open world, to be fair. After all, I have put Tears of the Kingdom on hold since it came out, basically. Yeah, I'm a fan of worlds that are designed to be open, but not actually open worlds. Like, I like wide levels. That's my preference. I think that's why Alan Wake 2 has been good for me so far, because it has a lot of sort of exploration just built into its design. Although some levels in it are very short and linear, so it's quite funny. I also miss games like Prince of Persia. I hope their Sands of Time remake eventually gets released. What am I looking for in this level? I need to find something to get through the sandstorm. Or can I just walk? I can just walk through it. Oh well, that's fine. Let's begin this level in earnest. Do you remember, actually, I mean, I assume this is why this level's all about water. The PS3 had like a tech demo that was like water with rubber ducks and all that stuff. That was a bizarre time. That's when Sony said, oh yeah, by the way, the PlayStation's going to cost £600 or £1,000 or whatever, and it was like, no thanks. Everyone was shocked. I didn't get a PS3 until the Slim came out. I was an Xbox 360 person until then. Oh no, it's Fat Princess. Oh, of course, it's this gimmick. Do you know what I would actually really like? A new turn-based Final Fantasy game. Either using the same system as the older games or using the same system as like 10, which I think is the only one that's actually used that exact system. Yeah. Because I mean, Bravely was fun, and that was like originally Final Fantasy offshoot. So they just take that sort of thing and make it into a proper Final Fantasy experience, but a big budget one. I want nice cutscenes. Oh yeah, of course they made the gun controller for the PS Move. And it like, I guess that's what evolved into the VR controller, but even then it was a little bit weird. Oh, I can't cheat, I do actually have to go across. I did actually consider streaming Gollum, just for a laugh, but it's actually such a tragically bad game that I couldn't even bring myself to do that. And it shut down a development company who, up until then, had done pretty interesting stuff. I did review it, and I tried my absolute best to give it like a 5 or something, just to be as nice as possible. And I could still only settle on a 3. It's unfortunately just not a good time. I think it could have been fine, but even the story is unfortunately just not really doing it. Oh, it's Metal Gear Solid. I'm quite looking forward to the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, even though it's not doing anything particularly different to the original version. And I really hope that they don't mess it up. Because MGS3 is like my favourite Metal Gear Solid game. But I'll always have that original to go back to, if the new one's rubbish. I also really want to see Konami bring back Castlevania. Because Castlevania is excellent. I used to resubscribe to Netflix so I can watch that at some point. Ah, this is Until Dawn, I think. Oh, that was a violently fast death. Oh yeah, the DS ones were incredible. I really hope that they do a DS Castlevania collection at some point. I'm not sure how they would do it, other than just turning them into just more traditional games, but like, it's a sin that Castlevania DS games are stuck there. Portrait of Ruin was especially good, but I really liked the original one, although a lot of people didn't seem to like that as much. I apologize, I actually missed what you were saying there because I was in the middle of talking about Castlevania and struggling to find words. Oh no, you get coins from the penguins. That incentivizes violence. Uncharted. It's actually really funny. So if you go back to the PS3 version of Uncharted 2, it's really buggy. Like, insanely buggy for what it is. So the first game, to be fair, but it's still fun, I guess. I highly recommend playing Uncharted if you've never played them before. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that series. Fair. It wasn't the only reason I got a PS4, but I think it was the first thing that made me actually purchase one. You mean you didn't name him after Nathan Drake? Or Nathaniel Draconis? Ah, here's our Resident Evil cameo. Referencing the best one. No, Jill, don't open that door. To be fair, I actually genuinely enjoyed playing through Resident Evil Remake in my last few streams. It was very much worth it. And I got the best ending. For the first time. Last time I played Jill's story in that game, I got the worst ending and saved nobody. Not on purpose, I'm just terrible. I think Barry got hit by Lisa Trevor, which is an instant death if he's at the edge of a platform. Also, I was really glad I moved to the PC version, because, oh geez, playing it at 60 FPS makes such a big difference. Indeed, you can actually improve a game by remaking it, if you take the time to plan the content. Well, I'm surprised I made that in the first go. But I am also looking forward to probably playing through Resident Evil 2 again as well. The OG one. Let's get some of that missing dialogue content from the remake playing again. I just feel like the remake of Resident Evil 2 could have benefited from increasing the interactions between Leon and Claire, rather than decreasing them like it actually did. Yeah, like the remake's a fantastic game, but yeah, it'll never replace that original. Even though it does a good take on a lot of things in it. The way it does Mr. X is superior in every way. Whee! The PS3 era. I have a lot of nostalgia for this era, because it was like the time where I was finally able to buy my own video games. Like, Mr. X is good for a while, and then he gets kind of annoying. But it does make it very satisfying when he gets absolutely wrecked. That's true. Oh yeah, the original fat PS3 that had the hidden ports. And the backwards compatibility with PS2, even though it was just software. But all PS3s play PS1 games, so that's all that really matters. We've only got one more level left. Hello, Lily. I have almost beaten this game in one sitting, the way it was intended to be played. Smack them. Here we go. Let's go into the boss level. Which is, I believe, also a fun throwback. That's good. That'll be what, the third time you've seen that film? Who remembers the original demos for the PlayStation 1 then? We defeated the PS1 dinosaur. But now we have an Astrobot dinosaur to deal with. To be fair, this is quite a fun boss. Oh, I know it's gonna get hit sometime. It's definitely the most intricate the game gets. And now we get to Smash Brothers the credits. I mean, it's such a fun little bundled in game. It's got lots of sort of charm and just lots of cool little throwbacks and stuff. And a reasonably fun platforming game in general. In a rare act of PlayStation actually doing something quite good from the generation. That's not to say they've always made bad decisions, but they've been making some weird decisions this generation. I'm not even sure if Asobo Studios still exists. Because they kind of got rid of a lot of their Japanese companies. I think swapping PlayStation over to American ownership was a bad move. Not from every perspective, of course, but just from they closed down a lot of companies that were making games that weren't big AAA experiences. Even though PlayStation actually lives and dies on its unique properties. Like, all this Last of Us pandering is very annoying. And there we go. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I decided to stream this tonight. I needed just a chill, sort of switch your brain off game, and that did that just perfectly. And then next week I'll aim to do another horror game, so we'll probably move on to Resident Evil 2 original. Assuming I can find my copy of it and get something to run it. Probably plug in the oldie Wii to run that game. I appreciate that, but don't worry if you don't. I do enjoy our chats though. And yeah, after Resident Evil I'll probably sprinkle in another couple of not horror games. Maybe I'll play some Fable. I'm feeling Fable at the moment. Especially once they start talking more about the new one. You got this far. Here, we give you 10 cool points. I did indeed. I punched the PS1 original dinosaur. A weird challenge. I don't think I've got any weird challenges for this game. I could eat a spicy pepper. To be fair, I keep wondering about setting myself weird challenges in games. I just don't think I'm quite there yet. Ooh, I've got one more path to go. In City Skylines. Build a city without crashing my computer. Nah, I'm only joking. Of course, it'll be the PS5 stuff. I have one of these headsets. The sound is quite good in it when you're playing PS5 stuff, to be fair. If it uses their 3D audio stuff. I think I like this a lot because it reminds me of Nintendo's 3D platformers, which I still have a huge affinity for, especially Kirby stuff. And my review for Mario RPG will go out soon as well. It's a very good game. It's a nice remake. I forgot the triggers zoom in. Actually, I wonder what this looks like on stream, because I assume the stream doesn't have HDR in it. But I see it all with its nice, vibrant colours. Ah yes, I am playing one of these right now. In fact, on a random side note, they're doing that revised PlayStation 5 design, but the disk drive requires internet if you buy the additional disk drive or buy it with the disk drive. How weird is that? It's not just me who thinks that's weird, right? Do you know what they should have done? They should have patched in a level for this game when they released PlayStation VR 2. So you can unlock that in the game too. I honestly don't know what the logic is. I mean, unless they just mean you have to update your firmware or something, but even then, it's still pretty backwards. I mean, the original PS5 with disk drive, it just works by default. Well, you see, that's what I don't know. There's been no confirmation on that side of things yet. If it's just once, I suppose I can let them off with it, but it's still pretty weird. I mean, it's just a disk drive. Unless it needs to, like, install drivers, and it only can find them when the disk drive's in there, or something weird like that. Where does this take me? I have explored all this before, I've just forgotten. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on in the gaming space at the moment. A lot of cool stuff, but also a lot of weird stuff. I also wonder when we'll see the next update for Silent Hill 2 Remake. I don't know if it'll be any good, but I'll still play it. If possible, I'll review it. No, I almost missed it. Oh, I missed one over there. What? There we go. So we can get bow and arrow in here. Or a gun. Nah, all bots will die. Also, apparently a Robocop game is good. Let's have a look at the speedrun levels just because I'm curious. Wow, I'm like 1,115,571st in that one. Well, thank you very much for watching. It was a lot of fun revisiting this little title, and yeah, next week around about the same time, tune in for what will be a horror game. It's currently open for voting on the Discord. I think the Discord link might be on my Twitch. If it's not, then I'll need to refresh it there. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be down in the description. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next stream.